Every week's an epic feat. They shed light on what's the trend. When will the madness ever end? From movies to the latest shows, you never know how far they'll go. Come aboard and take the ride. Let's uncover what's inside. Warriors of the night, here to fight. Pop culture explosions in the spotlight.
Hey, everybody, welcome, one and all. It is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. This is episode 219 of Pop Culture Warrior, this show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I am, of course, CQ, the Pop Culture Warrior, but least I do this alone. No! Does the saying go, lo, I walk through the shadow of the valley of death. I shall look at pop culture, not solo, but with someone. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him on. Mr. Mad Mike. Woo!
I'm here.
You
Made it.
did it. You did it. We did it.
I'm here with the Cockslayer.
We did it. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
we
it.
did it. Successfully launched the show.
No one said we had to do a certain time limit.
Hey, everybody, tuning in. What up, Tom? Jim? Never alone when you have a Myth Muffin next to you. Yes. What up, Billy? How you doing, man? Let's see. Keith King, Sports Bar. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So much to talk about. So much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, what's this box here? We'll get to that. What I actually want to talk about first is this. Ladies and gentlemen, I have it. The Xbox handheld. The Xbox Rogue Ally. Not the
Such
X.
a waste.
This is awesome. Actually. Uh
Don't drop it.
But there it is. Look at that. Look at it. It's so pretty. Let's zoom in. It's so pretty. Just like rubbing up against it. Hold on. I gotta use my fingerprint to unlock it. Beep. Isn't that cool? Unlocks with a fingerprint. And it boots right up into the Xbox menu. There it is. There it is. Ta-da! So I've had it now for what I got on the 16th. So I've had it for 4 or 5 days. I've been trying it out, playing games. Is it worth the money? I think that's the first and foremost. The white version, the Ally, not the Ally X, which is the black version. The white version goes for $600. I'm not a tech review channel by any means, but I will say I've played with it. I've tried it. It's surprisingly light. I thought it'd be much heavier. It's surprisingly quiet because basically what it is, it's a PC built into a handheld. Like if you listen real carefully, you might, let's see if you hear. Nah, I don't think it's going to pick it up. No. But there's like a little tiny fan. There's fans inside keeping it cool.
Mhm.
But it runs the Xbox UI, but you can easily jump. See, if I just hold this down, I can boom, that's just a Windows desktop.
Hmm.
You have a PC. And so the really cool thing about it and what separates it, like as an Xbox, it's good. It's a good enough. Is it worth $600 to have some of the Xbox games available to you? No, it's not. But where it's worth it is obviously if you have the Game Pass Ultimate, so you can like stream 500 games, all this stuff, that makes it worth it. But also it's the fact that with just the touch of a button, let's see, I can pull this up and there you have it. I've got my Steam library, my Epic Games library, my what's that one? EA, Ubisoft, like all the streaming services. So any game that you have on your PC, you can play on this.
Hmm.
So I could be playing Sony's Spider-Man right here on my Xbox Royale. Have I done it yet? No. Because currently it's still $60. Even for the original Spider-Man game, it's $60. Wait till they have a sale. On the holidays, they
Yeah.
put everything for like 50%
Black
off or
Friday.
more. Yep. So I guarantee you, once that sale hits and that price dumps down to like $20, $25, boom, I'll be playing Spider-Man right here in my hands, in my handheld. So yes, I do think it's worth it. Some games that you own, you're able to install directly onto it, so you can be playing offline. Some games you can play via what they call the game streaming. So you need to be connected to the internet through Wi-Fi in order to play those games. So like Assassin's Creed or what was the other one? Battlefield. I can be playing. What was that? Did you turn on your Xbox? Or was that me? I don't know.
That's you. That wasn't me.
That was weird. I swear I heard it in the background.
Try your thing.
So what? Okay, so Phil wants to know what's better, this thing, the Xbox Rogue Ally X, or the Steam Deck. I mean, I'm gonna say this one because the major, like, they both do everything the same. The big difference is this connects directly to your Xbox library and things like that. So it's the Steam Deck with that. But I one thing I gotta say, as a guy with really bad nerve damage in his hands, obviously, I love the ergonomics of this. It's my biggest issue with like the
Ergonomics.
Switch. The ergonomics, like the hand feels good. There's buttons here, there's buttons on the top. Like it just I was holding this for like a couple hours messing around with it, and it just feels good to hold. It's like holding a really big Xbox controller. So that is a big difference for me. Hey Matthew, hey Michael, how you guys doing? Let's see. How's the Doom experience? I haven't played Doom on it. I should though. How much pH has this thing seen? Oh, none yet. None yet. I might try that now though. That's a good idea. And yes, you can play Minecraft on the go. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So that's that. If you guys have questions about the Xbox Rogue Ally handheld device, let me know. Happy to talk about it. I don't want to spend too
How
much
long
time
does
on
that
it.
last?
Like the
That's
battery?
like rechargeable battery, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a rechargeable battery. Dude, I've charged it once and it still has a little bit of battery left. And I got that on the 16th. So again, I haven't been playing it nonstop, but I'll play with it for an hour here, hour there. I've charged it once and it still holds
Get
up.
hot?
No, surprisingly, no. When I was down, so the one, and it's not a downside. Imagine you just got a brand new computer. What's the first thing you have to do is install all these like updates. And so like the setup, I swear to God, took like 5 hours just because it downloaded a shit ton of updates, a shit ton of like drivers, like just everything all at once. And then because like if you want to add your Steam library and your Epic library, you have to download those, then run updates, then download so the setup felt like I wanted to play. I wanted to play with it, and it took forever. But once you got that past that, like it's been a dream. But yeah, so the battery's life's good. It doesn't get hot. Like I said, when it was downloading like 15 things at once, I heard the fans pick up, like it goes zzz, but it's to keep the whole thing cooled down. But other than that, it's dead quiet. It's got built-in speakers, which are really good. You know, it has remote play. It has Bluetooth. You have 2 different USB-C ports, one for charging. I guess one you can like connect to a monitor or something like that. Yeah, man, it's good. It's great. I really, really, really like it. Have you seen the Splinter Cell show? Not yet. Yeet. But okay. So if you do guys have questions about it, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. The other big thing, while we were gone last week, New York Comic Con happened. And I know I feel like I say this all the time, but this con experience was the greatest con experience I've had, because I feel like every year we do it a little bit better. We have a little more access. We get invited to a little more things. Like you might notice, I'm rocking my Cold Slither concert tee. We'll talk about that a bit. But my biggest highlight, if I can share, is it okay, Mike, if I share a bit about my con experience?
Yeah, you do you. I'll scroll the internet here.
I figured you wouldn't mind. I want you to ask me questions. You know, you got to ask me questions about things. Stay engaged. The biggest highlight for New York Comic Con, which I'm just so thrilled about. We talked about it out of San Diego. Do you remember what I said was my surprise, my big surprise out of San Diego? Like what I took away as like the big hit, the thing that surprised me the most. Do you remember?
No.
No, of
Pop-ups?
Activations, you mean? No. Well, I mean, those were awesome. But the thing that really, really surprised me the most was this. I talked about it after San Diego. I said, I got to experience the Rubik's Wow Cube, and it blew my mind. This doesn't come out till Christmas. But your boy, after talking with some people at New York Comic Con, they thought I deserved to have one. So I just want to show it off. It just looks like a black cube, but if I just give it a little twist, and there it goes, it activates. Now, it's not just a Rubik's Cube. This is why I said you really can't wrap your mind around it. It's like if you had a flip phone and I was trying to explain to you, you'd never seen an iPhone, and I'm trying to explain it to you, right? You're like, none of that makes sense. This is a device you have to touch. You have to physically interact with it to really understand it. It's more than just, you know, electrical or digital Rubik's Cube, right? Because I can do that. Let's see if I can do this on the fly. Come on, there we go. So I can It's like an iPhone, but it has
Yeah.
apps and things. But just like this, boom, I switch. Hey, it's a Rubik's Cube, and it plays just like a Rubik's Cube. See? Boop, 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 boop. I just realized the colors aren't coming. That's green, but I think the chroma key is
Yellow.
yeah, it's coming out weird. But anyway, so I could do a Rubik's Cube. That's easy. But let's go back to the main menu. Now let's do something like, let's do this one. And it's all gyroscope. It's not touchscreen. It's haptic. It has feedback, and it's got gyroscopes. So it's very intuitive. Come on.
Seems they got some kinks to work out here.
Again, this doesn't come out till Christmas. This is an early prototype of it. So for what it is, hey, look, it's an aquarium with fish.
Nice.
And then that little live fish. And the top is just water, but from the side, it's an aquarium. It does so much. It really does. I want like a good example. You got games like
can you do?
Yeah, Cut the Rope, Magic 8 Ball. There's
nice.
word connections. You can put it in like a nightlight mode. There's Space Invaders.
Can you pick the games on there, or is it just preset?
It's just like an iPhone, where when you get it, it will be preloaded with games, but they have a store. They have an app store, and you can download games. There's games that are, and most of them are free. There are some that you pay for. Obviously, the better stuff.
Trademarked ones.
Yeah. Let's see. What's a good? There's the gems.
Like Pac-Man on there.
That's the thing. There's so many games. There's a game that you're creating a maze. Think of like Pac-Man, where it's following a path and you're adjusting the path as you go along to keep it going. There's so much. There really is so much. Right now it's loading into more games. This is so fucking cool. See, like there you go. Follow this link to download more games.
Cool.
It is so freaking cool. I've played with it nonstop since I got it. My son, who's 8, really, really loves it. He literally will get off his tablet and be like, "Dad, can I play with the cube?" And he'll get off his tablet to play with the cube.
Nice.
So and there's so much. I've talked with the developers. We're gonna have them on. We're gonna have them on at some point closer to launch. And we'll talk. But I've gotten to talk to the guys and get to know them, and they have so many things planned for this device. There's like a little. This is just like if you wanted to make like a little night light. Or like have it on your desk as a trippy little
lamp or something.
Yep. Yeah. And twisting it will change the colors and patterns and things like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. It does have a nightlight feature. There's speakers in this. Now I turned it off just because I didn't want to be annoying on the show, but it can play music. It can connect Bluetooth.
Oh, nice.
It can in the updated versions, it's gonna have a built-in mic so that like me and you could, because we're connected to the server, we could be competing each other in a game and be able to talk to each other while we're playing. So there's so much. There's going to be a peer-to-peer connection. This is the early version. The later versions, you'll even be able to pull them apart and have individual cubes, and it will still work because they're each individual their own computer.
Huh.
And so you'll be able to like they show me you break it apart and then you can lay them flat and it can be like a game board.
Oh,
and
that's
so
cool.
And so all these would like imagine like if you open this up and lay them all flat, there'd be a digital game board that can whatever. You can get a second one and connect them together. Like it's infinite what you can do with this. I imagine. Remember when like iPhone first came out? And the App Store was like 10 things. It was like the flashlight, the whip sound, the drinking the beer thing. And people were like, "Oh my God, this is incredible." Right? And we had no idea where it would build to. And now it just makes sense that you have billions of apps. That's what I think is going to be this. Right now, it's cute. There's some fun games. There's some challenging puzzle games. One of my favorites is 2048. Which the developer told me few people in the office, in the development team, few people have beat that game. And I made it my life's mission to beat that game. And I have pictures and video of me beating it after like 4 hours of like it's tough. It's a tough game. But anyway, I'm very excited to see what the future holds for this device because, again, it's infinite possibilities. And I think it's only going to get better over time. Like much like the iPhone, I think it's only going to get better over time. I'm gonna put it in sleep mode. Boop, and there you go. So that's the Wow
cool.
Cube. It's fucking cool, man. I really, really, really like it. I can't wait to play Battlefield 6 on the Rubik's Cube.
That's us.
Yes.
Fun
Well,
that up.
there's for those that are into computing, there's like this old thing of where like, can it run? Was it like the original Doom? Was it Doom? No, Wolfenstein. Like, can it run Wolfenstein or Doom? One or the other. And people will literally like they'll take like the T1000 computer, or not the T1000. That's Terminator.
Is it fucking Terminator or something? This bitch. God damn.
The
don't
old
use that
remember
shit.
those the
Turn it
calculators,
off.
the old digital calculators. Like they would run Doom on that and like try or on an old Tamagotchi. You know, so I'm sure someone will eventually hack it into playing Doom on here, but like the idea that they're gonna have apps where like you could have your stocks, Bitcoin prices, and just have it on your desk as like a little up to date, display. I could have it in the background and showing different anime clips. I could, if I'm a game streamer, I can connect it to my stream and it could have my kill count, my ammo, my, what's my secondaries, like, and it could be just right next to me on the screen and like show my stats and things like that. There's so many things you can do with it. And really the sky's the limit. And they're making, it's open-ended. So there's an SDK, a development kit, software development kit available. So you download that and you can make your own games. I have this idea for a game that I really want to build. I just got to take my time with it and do it right. But I think it'd be super cool and a lot of fun. So there's that. I can know it's adult video on you could probably get it to play adult videos on there, if that's
really tiny.
that's just, you really have to squint hard. There's another feature that they're working on, which is really cool in that right now, each screen is independent of its own, but there's a way to get them to work cohesively that you could make almost a 3D image. So like, the Times Square billboards that they're curved, but they almost look 3D, like it's jumping out. So to do that, so that like this side and this side, so you would almost have a 3D effect. And because it has a gyroscope and an accelerometer and all that, like as you turn it, the video's turning to make it look like you're looking at a 3D effect. They showed like the guy said like you could have like a Pokeball and there's a Pokemon inside, and as you turn it, it looks like he's moving around or he's rolling around in there. Like all types of really, really cool stuff. I think kids are gonna love it. I think and it's one of the few, last thing I'll say about it, I feel like a spokesman for it, but I'm just so excited about it. One of the really cool things is this is like one of the only toys that is actually STEM approved by like some STEM institute or whatever, where like it is a certified STEM device. One of the things they talk about is like when your kid or you stares at a screen, it's a fixed point, right? You're staring at a fixed point. Everything's moving around the screen, but your eyes are fixed right on it. This forces you to look up, down, you're changing, you're getting close, you're getting further about. So it's actually better for your eyes because it's forcing you to use those muscles a lot more. I found myself like I was going so fast that I'm like doing this and I'm like up and down and turning aside and looking around. And it's forcing you to be more active than you're just staring at an iPad screen, just like, or whatever.
You fucking play Battlefield and I'm sweating, I'm having a heart attack.
Well, sure, that's
God
different.
damn.
That's different.
Fucking stand next to that tank, fire off some rounds, you have a concussion. I think I got 6 concussions in the last 2 hours.
That tinnitus, man. That tinnitus is a bitch.
Fucking firing off that smog.
Yes.
Shit.
So that's the Wow Cube. Very excited. I'll probably have the guys on to come talk about it. And I highly Pre-orders are out now. I think it's if you pre-order it now, you get it in time for Christmas. I think it's going to be one of the hottest things once people get their hands on it. Like I think it's going to be real popular this year, but I think by next year it's going to be like the it toy to have.
Man, it just put me to sleep.
All right, so some other things while I was at New York that I just want to share about because they were so awesome. I got to get some hands-on time with the official D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. They were appearing there, sharing some of their new exclusive stuff. I got to get some hands-on time with it. It's awesome. For those of you that watch FTX, which we'll have FTX this Friday, by the way.
Imaginary fucking thing.
Yeah. There's a dungeon master, and you come up with characters, and you're in a dark room. What do you do? Kind of stuff. Yes, that's Dungeons and Dragons.
Beat the shit out of my meat. That's what I
do. when I think about you, I touch myself.
Level 150 jerk master, son. Can't leave me alone.
So, Dungeons and Dragons.
I never play.
Dungeons and Dragons is something we've never really dipped our toe into in FTX just because of how it's very in-depth, it's very long, it's very story-driven. It would take months to complete a campaign. Well,
it's super fucking boring.
Some people could say that. Well, they have a new thing. They have a partnership with Stranger Things, the TV show, where in the show...
Heard of it.
In the show Stranger Things, the character Eddie, he's a dungeon master. He loves playing Dungeons and Dragons. And so they brought that to life, his versions of Dungeons and Dragons. So it's actually really cool because it's meant to be kind of a standalone, very entry level, like they create your character sheets for you, things like that. I am intimidated by Dungeons and Dragons. I will tell you I'm intimidated because there's just so much to it. This was something
just Stranger Things, like you're just playing in that world.
You're playing in the Dungeons and it is Dungeons and Dragons.
Only be like those kids or whatever, maybe the cop or the mom. I've only watched season 1.
So
and then 1 of season 2.
So yeah, so the idea is that the characters are within the realm of Dungeons and Dragons, but it's as if you were playing Dungeons and Dragons with the characters on the show. So it is Dungeons and Dragons. It's not like, fucking Eddie shows up. Like it's his character, his Dungeons and Dragons character. But like they do have demigorgons and stuff like that are monsters in the game. So the whole point is you're playing a very small. They're like you could complete a campaign in 2, 3, 4 hours versus months long campaigns.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna get it for FTX so we can do it one night. So that was really cool. And along those lines, Magic the Gathering, I got to get a briefing with the team behind Magic the Gathering and talk about their new expansion coming out in 2026, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collaboration. We did Spider-Man this year. Next year is Team NT. Looks really fun. Looks really cool. They're very excited about it. That's Magic. It's not changing, whatever. One of the things that they did announce that was all new that got me excited because once again, Magic the Gathering is something that I don't think works well for FTX because a lot of the guys don't know the game and there's so many like millions.
Too much explaining.
Yeah, and there's millions of cards, and so to create your deck is very custom thing. It's a very individual thing, and so I don't think it works well.
Everyone would have to have their own.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it was like, here's my fucking shitty cards. You guys can play with.
You're gonna get stomped on every time. So one of the things that they announced, which I'm actually very excited about, is a whole new way of playing Magic. It's a co-op game where you buy the game. It has 4 decks plus like a boss deck. And so you and up to 3 of your friends, 4 people, are playing as the Turtles, and you're going up against Shredder and his deck. So you're playing the game, not playing each other. You're co-oping against the game. So it's Magic because it's all of the rules and regulations and how you play Magic, but it's just a whole new way to play it where instead of it's a one-on-one, it's a co-op versus the game itself. Looks really cool. And again, I think it would be great for an FTX night. So we are definitely going to get that when it comes out. I think it's March it comes out, but we'll add that to the repertoire. Um,
So someone plays as the boss deck, or you guys
no,
just
the
like turn the
boss.
cards over?
It's yeah, you're just like there's like on the boss's turn, it's like play this card, attack with all your active creatures kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's no one actually playing it; it's the game playing it.
You're gonna have different bosses, so like you can
There's
get like
Shredder,
whatever
there's Kang,
Shredder.
there's the Foot
That's so
Soldiers, there's Bebop and Rocksteady, there's anything you can think of from the Ninja Turtles universe. There's Baxter, uh, all the characters are there. So
that's
yes,
cool.
a lot. Um, what's the question? Will we or will we not have FTX this week? There will be an FTX. Yes. Did you see Galactus walking around? I did. I did. That thing was huge. There was a huge
Yeah.
Galactus costume. Of a person in a Galactus costume that was walking around. All right, other things. I have my notes here because
Did
I
you
just
ask
want
him
to.
how he goes to the bathroom in it?
It's a process. It's a process. Um, the Invincible Versus, which is the new. It's like Mortal Kombat, but the Invincible universe. I got to play it. It's if you're into fight. Like I'm not big into fighting games, but it was cool to see.
Those characters,
Yeah,
that
the
world.
characters and fight, and it's very unique in that, like, as you're playing the game, like the costumes start to rip, they get bloody, they start like they're like you can see them kind of sweaty, and like by the end, your dude's got like a black eye, and he's like ripped open in different areas, and much like in the Invincible universe, like you can like execute people like Invincible comes in and hits the dude so hard that his body
His head
explodes.
explodes. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's crazy.
What's
Very
that on? Is that on all the systems, or is
it'll
that a
it'll
mobile?
be when it comes out, it'll be on all the systems. I played it on the PC with an Xbox controller, but it'll be available on all consoles. It's very, very, very cool. Again, if you're into the Invincible universe, if you're not into the Invincible universe, it's just another kind of mash them up, beat them up, spam as many buttons as you can. But it's cool. It's cool, and it's a 3-on-3 fighting style. So I think back to what was it like?
Marvel
Capcom
vs.
X Men.
Capcom.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, where you had like
Jesus, I can't stop
yeah,
yawning. Fuck.
where you had the tag-ins. Too bad you're not that great at the game. I was undefeated. I was undefeated when I played. So
You playing against some 2-year-old kid that wasn't even know how to
it might
press
have
the
been a
button.
special needs guy. I don't know. But some bald-headed baby. But yeah, it was cool. Uh, I think again, if you're into the Invincible universe, if you're into fighting games particularly, I think it's really good. Each character very much has their own play style. There's tag ups because you're that 3-on-3. There's like these tag up moves. You can knock people out and bring them back, and you're fighting on other planets, on Earth, on the desert, in the sky, in the space, all the different things. So a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. What else? So yeah, D&D, Visible Wild Cube. Got to meet Ronda Rousey and talk about her new series. It's a graphic novel called
No, yeah,
Expecting the Unexpected, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
I mean, it's interesting premise. And to her credit, I gotta say, to her credit, she's really taking it serious because you'll see a lot of celebrities who come into the graphic novel world because they're like, I got a cool story, and it's like it's about themselves as a superhero, and you're just like, well, that's not creative. Kiss fighting a dragon or whatever. You're
Yeah,
just like,
it's
that's
stupid.
yeah. She put a lot of work into this. Apparently, as I was talking to her, she was telling me how she had originally wrote a screenplay for it. It's supposed to be a movie, and she said Hollywood right now it's just really hard to get things done, and they don't want to risk certain things. So she goes, as she was working with WWE, she was working with a lot of the writers who write the scripts and write the storylines and all that. And they were like, this would make good as a graphic novel. And so they reshaped it and they sold it. And it's actually it's an interesting premise. It's about an assassin and accidentally gets pregnant and has to figure out like how to be an assassin while pregnant and while trying to bring a kid into this world and all that. And so we'll see if it catches on, but it
Yeah,
seemed
I read the thing on it. It seems like it's all right, something different.
yeah.
Who
And
publishes that? Is that IDW? Do you know?
it
Do you
was
remember?
AWA, which is like a
Oh, so
newer,
never heard of 'em.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a newer indie book, whatever. The cool thing about it, and I got an early copy of it. The fight scene, in most comic books and most graphic novels, the fight scene is like punch here, and then in the next panel, it's like a flying kick, and you're like, wow, how did we get from here to here? She really wanted the graphic novel to really showcase the fluidity of combat and the visceral nature of combat. She hearkened it back to, like, you ever like be in those judo classes or karate classes where they have the thing on the wall where it shows like the three poses, like of a roll or of a kick, right? The different. She goes, I wanted it kind of like that, so you can follow along the action. And there's actually like one scene where she's fighting two dudes in a bathroom. And so she goes, literally, I had two guys help me. We went into a bathroom and we kind of like coordinated out. Like this isn't just an artist, fight scene in bathroom and the artist just kind of goes crazy. She was actually submitting pictures of what she wanted the panels to look like so that she could show, okay, from here to here. And then they rolled over and then he went this, and then I hit him with the thing. And so from a fighting choreography kind of standpoint, I think it's a very cool, unique way of showing action in a comic series. So
That's cool.
yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
I saw they had the Blues Brothers comic book. Did you see that, or did you not bother? I feel like that's past its time. Like they should have came out with that in the early '90s.
Yeah,
Too late. Like nobody knows who the fuck. Even my kids, we go to Universal, and they have them. Randomly they come out, and they're like, "Who the fuck are those guys in the suits?"
You're like, why are the Men in Black here? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
but I think one of them did say that. Like, "Oh, look, it's the Men in Black," and they're like, "Wait, where's the black guy?" Like, those are the Blues Brothers.
Why are the Men in Black playing blues music? That's weird.
Why they got hats? Singing? They
They're
sing?
playing harmonica.
It's
so
the
strange.
Men in Black musical.
Men in Black the musical.
But I think, and I heard
yeah.
other kids say that too. It's like, yeah, nobody knows who the fuck they are.
Over the years, I'll say this: I've seen Run from Run DMC make a comic. Was it Blues Brothers?
Read and
Gene Simmons had his.
terrible.
D. Snyder has his comic. Obviously, you have the dude from My Chemical Romance has Umbrella Academy, but that's different because it's not like that's an actual original story idea.
Creator. He's not doing him and fucking Jared Leto.
My Chemical Romance, the comic book. It's as different as you can be. So there's a lot of people trying to, and it's the same way, a Kardashian's going to put their name on a perfume or a makeup line or like they're just diversifying their portfolio. It's few times where I go, oh, this is, I really believe after talking with her that this is her trying to be taken seriously as like a graphic novelist. And the artwork is by Mike Deodato Jr., which is one of my favorite artists. Yeah. Honestly, he's one of my favorite artists. Yeah, I got a whole book signed by him because I love it.
No, I'm not talking about her. Hers seemed like an original one because at first I thought it was like gonna be like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
like, this is fucking stupid.
Ronda Rousey fights Godzilla.
Like a lot of wrestlers had them. Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, all of them had stupid.
They're fighting Terminator or RoboCop or some shit like that. The Power Rangers.
Even have that. Yeah. So it's like no.
This is I think, and honestly, I think if I'm really being truthful, I think this is a way to like, okay, if it gets some heat, I can actually make the movie that I wanted to make. You know what I mean? Because how many things are adapted from a book to a movie? So I think this is her backdoor kind of way of like, look, let me show you, it'll work. Let there be some buzz around it, and then a studio's gonna pick it up and then make something out of it. Plus, Ronda Rousey as a name is gonna sell.
But if they didn't do Berserker yet, they're not gonna do that.
They're still working on that. Berserker had a big appearance. What else? This is kind of an FTX thing, but Overpower Rising. I don't know. You probably remember Overpower Rising from the 90s. Overpower was.
You were all excited about it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they were talking about.
Because Marvel was huge in Overpower back in the 90s. This is like before Magic the Gathering even really took off. Marvel had a collectible fighting card game. Everybody thought it was the Marvel game, but it was called Overpower. That was its own company. They licensed Marvel as a product, but everybody remembers it as the Marvel fighting card game. But there were little cards like these, and then you'd have, stats and attack power and intelligence, and you would set up your guys and they'd fight each other and whatnot. Company
so
went
it's like Magic or some or
it's
Pokemon
kind of
or
yeah
some shit.
it's like any other fighting game, but I will say that this is so different than something like Magic or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or any of the other card games. And I've got a video coming out where we played it live at Comic-Con. We had a
Okay.
booth set up and everything. It's different for those of you that know card games and know how these things work. It's all about like resource allocation, right? You play a card and then I have to tap 3 mana to activate the card, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or like Pokemon, I have to do 2 electric to play my Pikachu kind of thing. This game does have stats and things like that, but it's not really about resources. It's almost like you're creating a narrative. So your character has a certain energy, a certain combat force, a certain intelligence, and so they can utilize certain weapons or certain situations based on their stats. And so you're creating like where I'm gonna, because they have a Walking Dead edition, which is so cool. It's like I can have Rick, has a shotgun and he's riding on a tank, and those are different cars that can be combined to form, kind of a story-esque thing. And like, well, I use my Omni-Man, it takes all damage and it bounces off him card, and all kinds of stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. And it's because unlike a Magic where it's like any card can really work with any card, there are situational cards where like Lucille is only going to be used by Negan, or Rick's pistol is only going to be used by Rick. And so it makes the decks a little more kind of narratively focused versus just I tap in 3 mana for my instant fireball kind of thing.
So they got a new one. What was the new one there?
So yeah,
Walking Dead?
so Overpower has its initial set where everything's original. And then off of that, they've licensed Walking Dead, Invincible, and then most of the IDW stuff. So like Witchblade, The Darkness, what was it? Youngblood? Not Youngblood.
Okay.
No,
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot. Like, so there's a bunch of those that they've licensed. They are currently working with what was it? Oh God, there was another one that they were talking. Oh, The Boys. They're working on the Boys franchise. So a bunch of really big IP that it kind of fits that world. They're even hinting at there might be some work with like Capcom. So you might end up with like a Mega Man, a Sonic, kind of stuff on there as well. So they were super cool with us. I got to give them a shout out. They gave us a bunch of like the promo cards. So we have promo cards that haven't even come out yet. They gave us a whole box of decks, a whole box of booster packs. So I don't know if it's gonna be this FTX or the next one. We're gonna do like a live opening party and like rip packs open and build decks and
So
play.
when you buy that, you have to buy like a starter kit or something. How does that come?
Typically, you would buy like, and this goes for any card.
Is that
game.
like so each person? If I want to play with other people, they all have to buy their own shit, or can you buy like a bunch of it?
I mean, you could buy 2 or 3.
Like Magic though, like everyone brings their own decks, kind of deal. Otherwise, you're gonna spend thousands of bucks.
One second. And just checking with our guest.
What's it called? I'll just Google it real quick.
Overpower Rising is the new version. It used to be Overpower, but they're coming back. So, okay, cool. So, all right, yeah, our guest is standing by, so that's great. We'll get him in here in a little bit. What was I saying? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yes, so Overpower Rising is coming back. It's gonna be awesome. They gave us a bunch of stuff, so we're gonna use it for FTX, and then we're gonna give away a bunch of stuff. Play mats, card protectors, decks, booster packs. I mean, they showered us with stuff for you guys, and very excited about it.
You could print decks. Nice.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, they call them proxy decks. You can actually just print out cards and use them. There's an online, I think it's like TRG, something like that, where you can play digitally. You can play the cards digitally. So it's like, if you play any card game online, it's like that. Yeah. So I think that was most of the stuff I wanted to cover. Couple quick things. I want to get into this. What's in the box? Yes, what's in the box? So one of the things that happened, I filmed a bunch of content like I always do. I was there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Filmed all day Saturday. I sat down with Robert Kirkman and a bunch of other people, Norman Reedus, and did interviews. It was great. At the end of the day Saturday, well, almost the end of the day. It was like late afternoon Saturday. I was, I had my bag and I had all my stuff, and I put all the gear down, and I was kind of rearranging things because I was carrying a bunch of stuff and I'm moving things around, and I had the mics and the cameras, whatever. I go to pick up my bag. I go to grab the camera. It's gone. Somebody swiped my camera, which is a GoPro on a little stick with the little, so like the GoPro, the charging handle, the little receiver for the microphones, gone, which is like fucking $1,000 worth of gear, just right there alone. So kind of a bummer on Saturday. Lost all the footage from Saturday, and it was kind of a bummer. So I ran around, tried to find it. I went to Lost and Found. I did all that stuff. I left a little incident report and all that. Still nothing. It's gone. Whatever. In my depressive state, I decided to do a little retail therapy. And so
put an Apple AirTag on it, like fucking super glue that shit to it.
I should have. I really should have.
Next time fucking beat someone's ass.
And the funny thing is too, I think that because it was one of the newer GoPros too, like not the newest, but like 2 or 3 times ago, but it has like geolocation, which I turned it off. I turned it off because I'm like I never, it's always with me. I don't need to know where it is like an idiot. I turned it off. We're having a little issue with the little tech issue here. Hang on one second. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. He's having trouble joining the room, so I got to help people. Talk a little bit about New York Comic Con for a second while I send that out a message. What do you think? Why'd you miss it? Tell the people why'd you miss it. First of all,
I missed it because I went to see Everclear with Local H and Sponge.
Gross.
Some great bands from the early 90s. I bought the tickets like a year ago when they came out. Second time I saw Everclear. Well, that was a fantastic show. First time I saw Local H, which I didn't realize they're from Chicago. I guess they play there all the time, so I might have to see if they're playing next time I drive through there. And then I went fishing on Sunday, so slayed some snook and catfish. All much better. And then I was fucking posting all your crap. They kept sending thumbs were hurting there.
Yes.
Did a lot of cool shit. The Marvel stuff, which we posted about, we didn't even talk about. There was all kinds of
God, I want to talk about the Marvel.
I don't think they were going to have anything there. Like, that was one of the other reasons why I was like, it's not that big a deal because they haven't really been going to
Marvel. Yeah, the Marvel like movies, Marvel Studios didn't have a presence there. But Marvel animation and TV was really, really, really popping. A bunch of stuff. So real quick, before we get to our guest here, I got to do this. So I was saying I was bummed out. I fell into the old time for some retail therapy. And so this right here, let's pull this back a little bit. This right here, if you see here, says Alex Ross Collectors Club. Now, anyone who knows comics knows Alex Ross makes some of the most gorgeous
Painting.
pieces you've ever
Second
seen.
only to Bob Ross.
The second best Ross there ever was.
His
Now,
nephew? No, I don't know. No relation.
so I will say this. My dream was to always own an original Alex Ross. Obviously,
He sells
they are
them all the time. You don't got like 30
tens of
grand just laying
thousands
there.
of dollars.
You don't got
Yes.
30 grand? Fucking get
They are
out of here.
tens of thousands of dollars. So, he has a company, Alex Ross Collectors, or it's Alex Ross something company. What they've done is, like every company out there, this is a blind box. So what they did was, he signs a bunch of stuff, I guess, to fund himself, I guess. I don't know. And you can go buy a Spider-Man signed by Alex Ross. You can go buy that on the website. This is a blind box, a collector's club box, where you're guaranteed it's like a CGC 9.8 rated and above signed comic, a couple of other signed comics, and a print signed. So a bunch of signed Alex Ross stuff. You just don't know what it is. It's random. And for the price, you're saving a lot of money because you're not getting exactly what it is you want.
Yeah.
If you see here, it says New York Comic Con 2025 exclusive. For New York Comic Con, they did something special. Yes, it's like Hit Parade. Yes. So they did the typical. They only made 75 boxes for New York Comic Con. And in those 75 boxes, there are 3 special original sketches done by Alex Ross. So you have a 1 in 25 chance, let's call it. 1 in 25 chance. I bought this, again, after I lost my camera on Saturday. So it was towards the end of the convention. I asked how many are left, because I had heard about this. They go, oh, there's about 6 boxes left. And I said, okay. And how much are the boxes? 300 plus tax. So like 326 after taxes. I said, have people been opening them right on site? And they're like, most people have opened them right there because they want to see what they got. I said, okay, has anyone pulled one of the sketches? She goes, and this is the lady I'm talking to. She goes, of the ones I've seen, which she's like, I've been working here the whole time. Of the people that have opened, we haven't seen one sketch yet. Now, did it mean that all 3 sketches were still in those boxes? No.
Them away, yeah.
It just means that of the boxes they've seen, none. Now, I have not opened this box. It is still sealed from New York Comic Con, and I figured, let's do a live unboxing and see if...
What if he's at home like, oh shit, I forgot to put these sketches in those boxes.
Why do I have these 3 sketches just sitting here?
What? Get like an IOU. He's got to draw like 70 of them.
So here you go, cracking it open. The Alex Ross New York Comic Con 2025. Imagine right through it.
Don't go too deep.
Right through the sketch.
Why are you gonna cut right through the middle of it?
It's 2 half sketches. It's like one of those, the covers that they're like the split in half. All right, here we go. All right. Woo boy, here we go. I don't know what to expect. Okay, we got a little just Alex Ross advertisement. There you go, gotta have the advertisement. All right, here we go. This is the comics, I believe. Man, they really packaged the hell out of these to protect them. All right, here we go. Here we go. Try not to do this and not also slice my finger, any more fingers off. Oh, okay. All right. Woo-hoo-hoo. What do we got here? All right. First up, let's go with the CGC rated. This is a 9.8 signature series of Power Girl number 20, officially signed by, you guessed it, Alex Ross. Signed 9/5/25. This is the Ross variant cover B, sketch cover. So I don't know what the value of that, but that is an Alex Ross signed comic book. Yay!
That's like $100.
All right, well, there you go. I'm only 200 in the hole then. And in these, which have certificate of authenticity, so you know they're legit.
which is a print.
Yeah, because
I
nobody.
have my own certificate of a print.
It has the CQ.
I got him for Alex
certificate of
Ross,
authority.
everyone.
All right. So here we go. Don't stick to that. Don't stick to that. That was almost bad. Speaking of Marvel cards, it's a Marvel Doctor Doom signed by Alex Ross.
Nice.
For the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2025, because, you know, Doctor Doom is making a big appearance. On this, we've got a print of Wolverine. It's Wolverine. Oh, the different Wolverines through the years. So, like, fighting Hulk, the brown suit, the yellow suit, the cowboy hat, and then also his with the X-Men at the bottom. You can see that.
That's cool.
Yep, signed by Alex Ross. And now for the comic books. Ooh, ours is pretty cool. We've got wait, is this a? Oh, it's in a different language. I'm like, wait a minute. Why does this look weird? Inmortal Hulk. It's the Spanish immortal Hulk. It's Inmortal Hulk. Le que faci del monstruo. There you go. There's a Spanish Hulk. Oops, and now it's broken.
Now it's garbage.
Now it's worthless. Zatanna #1.
That's cool.
Signed by Alex Ross. Very nice, very nice. And then this one is really cool because it's one of those, what they call the naked cover. There's no information about it, but that looks like the swamp monster from, what's it called?
Shit. What's it? The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, yes. So black and white virgin cover, not naked cover. Virgin cover is what they call it when there's no title, no barcode, no nothing. So that's got to be a pretty unique one right there. All right, so those are the comics. That's the card. That's the CGC. And then there's this.
Sketch cover.
This could be.
Original sketch, whatever.
This very much could be.
Dude, it'd be so awesome. It's like a big cock or whatever he drew.
Shut up. All right. Just a big old deal. Hey, if it's signed by Alex Ross, I'll take it.
It's just the fingers, giving you the middle finger.
Yeah, I need one of those. All right. I got to be very careful to cut the side without.
Slice right through the paper.
Yep, without slicing the paper. I'm just putting just a tip. I just put the tip in.
Went from a 9.8 to a 2.3.
I'm going to take a peek. Oh, wow. It is not an original, but it is a Green Goblin art piece by Alex Ross.
Print.
Yes. Very pretty.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Very cool poster, which I'll probably be giving away on the show because I don't need 52 different items signed by Alex Ross. I'm gonna have to cut this thing out, but there you go. It's not the original, which would have been nice. Would have been nice. Just making sure there's nothing hiding underneath it. Nope. Yeah, it is just the print, the Alex Ross print. But there you go. That was our live unboxing. I think I got some pretty cool comics. Some pretty cool small prints.
Worth easily.
Yeah, mini prints.
I don't know what
cards.
a print of his goes for. What are those big ones? He probably sells those for like $100, right?
Something like that, 50 or more. Yeah, if it's a print.
And then to sign it, it's probably
you get one of his comics signed, it's like $200-300. A 9.8 signed is going to be a couple $100.
Yeah,
and then prints and all that. I definitely think you get your money's worth. It's just you're not getting maybe the characters you want, or the specific ones. That's kind of the big thing. All right, we did that. Was there something else? Oh yes. Before we toss it to a break, I've got some cool things I can share because everyone always wants to know what goodies did we get from New York Comic Con? Well, these are things that will be given away as part of.
What was the theme? I forgot this year.
It was like Halloween. Yeah, it was like Halloween. So everything was pumpkins and ghosts and stuff like that. It was like very Halloween-y theme. Halloween-y. So these are going into the giveaway pile, which my goal this holiday season is to get rid of everything. I want a clean house. So these are all things that will be given away, starting with one of the things that I think is the coolest, and it is this jacket. New York Comic Con exclusive jacket with the red and blue trim. And what's really cool is it looks like just
thermal.
Yeah, it looks like it. But if you look very closely, the stitching says NYCC.
NYCC, yeah.
Yep, that is the stitching all over the jacket.
You got a little elbow zipper. Got that
Elbow
zipper on the
zipper.
elbow.
Yeah, man. Gotta get
Cut
that.
some people's cheeks open.
Yeah.
Fucking Peaky Blinder style.
And this thing, let me tell you something. It heats you up. I put it on for 5 minutes and I was sweating.
Oh, you fucking sweated in it too? What?
Actually,
Nice.
I didn't.
Game used?
I didn't because I have 2 of them and I'm keeping one. So I'm keeping one, and this one is the giveaway one.
Never mind.
So
I don't want it now. Then.
We will be giving that one away. Hey, I see our guest joined us. We'll be with you in 1 minute. Just a couple of other things I can tease. Some collectible items from New York Comic Con that we're giving away. This Puchita nightlight. I believe it comes from the Chainsaw Man series. I guess he has a dog with a chainsaw face, I guess. I don't know. But that's that, a Crunchyroll exclusive. That's a cool item that's going away. I mean, I have this whole big box of items that are, look at it. New York Comic Con fan. Oh my God, look at that. Somebody's going to go home with that thing. How cool is that? All right. Comics, stickers, bags. Oh man, there's just so much. Oh crap. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. Here's something unique that you don't see every day. This is given to us by the Bubblegum Kids. Their New York Comic Con exclusive 2025 is a Berenstain Bears like sweater.
Nice.
As an actual bear. Who remembers the Berenstain Bears? My God.
Everyone.
Everyone our age. Yeah. But there's that. I've got really cool New York Comic Con T-shirts. Like I said, the theme was Halloween, so they got these like ghouls and goblin shirts. New York Comic Con swag bags. Let's see. Oh my God, there's so many things. They got pins, books, pens. Oh my gosh. There's all these like collectible card games, so like One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh and all those. Oh my God, there's so much stuff. I've got Invincible versus Band-Aids. So the fighting game I was telling you about, what a great product placement for a fighting game. They have Band-Aids.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. There's a pizza slice with New York City, like a little squishy pizza slice, and just a bunch of stuff, a real bunch of stuff that can be. We'll go through more of it later, but for now, we're gonna get to our guest here in a minute. But yes, so that's all the stuff we'll be giving away as part of our holiday exclusives here at Pop Culture Warrior. We've got that stuff. We got the stuff from San Diego Comic Con. We got the stuff from MGS Con, which we'll be touching on in a minute, as well as I think Awesome Con and a few other things that we have. All of the U.S. Army WTF Moments, WTF Nation radio stuff. I mean, so this holiday season is going to be a blast. We're going to be giving away prizes left and right. I feel like Oprah. You get a prize and you get a prize. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. All right. With that, we're going to toss it to a quick break so I can go get my guest for the night. Mr. Mad Mike, are you calling it a night?
Yes, I am.
Well, we appreciate having you, man, as always. Do you want to say anything to the audience before we call it a night?
No.
It's a pleasure as always, sir. A pleasure. Man of few words. That's why we love him, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're going to toss to a short break. And when we come back, we've got a legend joining us. It is the Colonel himself, Mr. Paul Eiding, will be joining us. So stay tuned, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, what do you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ with the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns, villains play and heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read, CQ's wisdom's what we need. Memories that make us bleed, together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another fight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight.
Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior. I am, of course, your host, CQ. And boy, howdy, I am so excited. And it's not because I crammed 3 energy drinks before going live. It is because my guest tonight is an absolute legend of voice acting. You've heard him commanding Snake as Colonel Roy Campbell in the Metal Gear Solid series. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. He's voiced characters in Ben 10 and Diablo 3 and StarCraft 2 and Skyrim and Fallout 4 and Up and Wally. Honestly, if you've picked up a controller or watched an animated show in the last, 30 years, you've probably heard this man's voice. So, I mean, I can't do it any better than the man himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great joy and pleasure to welcome tonight's guest to Pop Culture Warrior, the Colonel. Everybody give him a salute. Mr. Paul Eiding, everybody. Yay!
Hey. Happy to be here, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, I am through the roof. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a very, very long time. I mean, we met face-to-face 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been that long.
MGS Con 1, and I mean, we hit it off right away. We were cracking jokes at each other, and I said, man, I need you to come on my show. I need to have this conversation with you. And, you know, you're a hard man to get a hold of. You're a hard man to get a hold of. Let me tell you, to pin down.
How many times did we set this up and we have to change it?
It's been a few times. You know what, though? It's out of love. You are a busy man. If I could share the story, the last time we bumped into each other, it was MGS 3, and I said, man, come on, man, we're always missing each other. And do you remember what you told me? The reason why is it's so hard to get a hold of you?
No.
How do I put this politely? You said you were what was it? BFG, I think it's
BFD.
BFD, yes. And then for the folks at home, please, Colonel, what's a BFD?
Well, wait a minute. I gotta set it up.
Okay, please.
Okay, so we have a dear friend who went to school with my daughter, and every year we have a holiday party. And this last year, our friend got married to he happens to be a stand-up comic. He came over to the house, and we had like about 60 people around at that point. And he said, I understand that you're, he was joking, but he said, I understand that you're important. And I said, no, brother, I'm not important. I'm a big fucking deal, okay? So whenever he talks about me online, or he calls, or anytime I see him, or he mentions me to anybody else, he said, oh yeah, Paul Eiding, he's a big fucking deal, man.
That's right.
So that's
BFD.
why I threw that at you.
I almost hit the floor when you told me that, because you're like, listen, man, it's hard to get a hold of me. I'm a BFD. And I'm like,
Big fucking
BFD?
deal.
I'm a big fucking deal. I was like, oh my
That's
God.
why I get the medium bucks, man.
I love it. My God, this is going to be so much fun. Let's start off the same way we do with every guest. What is your military connection?
I was in the 3rd ID. I was in from 66 to 69. Went in at Fort Jackson from Cleveland, Ohio. First time on an airplane was to Fort Jackson in the rain on a prop. I was fucking terrified. Went to Jackson, and then they sent me down to Fort Gordon for basic. And Signal Corps, they were talking about, maybe Signal. And then the Army decided, well, let's send him to Fort Belvoir, Virginia instead. So I did AIT at Fort Belvoir, where that was one of the places where you would ship after AIT to Nam. And I said, okay, all right. They wanted to go. The sergeant in charge wanted me to go to OCS, Officer Candidate School. And I had already been told by some of the grunts around that no, you don't want to go to OCS because you come out of Second Louis, and you go to Vietnam, and you're the first one to get shot. So I said no, thank you. So the Army instead sent me to Germany. And that's where I was with the 3rd Infantry Division, 1st and 7th for a while, and then they shipped me to, where was I? Headquarters, HQ, and spent my time there. And got to be honest, I had a great time because I was there, and they had me audition for a singing group when I first got there. Now, this is the Audie Murphy Division, the most decorated soldier in World War II.
Right.
Twice a year, we all had to get together and go to the theater, and we had to watch his movie, To Hell and Back. So there we are. They said, anybody play an instrument or sing? So I raised my hand. They sent me into a room, and there was a guy sitting at a piano, and he said, okay, don't tell me names. I'm guessing names today. My real name is Otis Errol Eiding, which I never liked. So he said, oh, man, okay, you look like a Paul. And I said, cool. So from that point on, my name became Paul. So anybody who contacts me and calls me Otis, they're either someone from my past before college, or trying to sell me something, because I've never changed it legally. But that's how I became Paul also.
Wow.
In the military.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
But I got to tell you, when I got out of the military, that was not a time when we were welcomed back. Okay, this is '69 during the height of Vietnam. So it wasn't like there was nobody thanking us for our service. Didn't matter where you were, you had been in. And I remember not wearing my uniform for a while. My fatigues, or my stripes. I came out a hard 5. And it was interesting. And for a long time after, I had some serious, I don't want to get too heavy, but I had some serious survivor guilt, because so many of my buds went to Nam, didn't come back, or came back strung out, and then ended up ODing once they got back to Ohio. And there I was. I had great time in the military while I was there performing, because I ended up taking over the group and as the conductor and singer and musician. So anyway,
that's incredible. I feel for you. I understand. Something. I'm part of the GWAT era, the Iraq-Afghanistan war guys, and like we revered the Vietnam guys, right? And we knew the stories, and we knew what they went through, and how, like, I jumped into Iraq. I was part of the 03 jump into Iraq. So the first real combat since Vietnam. And I remember people telling us, hey, they're going to hate us. They're going to spit on us when we come back, because that was the last impression that was left. And so the first guys to go really had no idea how we were going to be received coming back. So I that's burned into my brain. And I had an uncle who served in Vietnam and OD'd when he came back. And so I understand. I carry that with me. So we thank you for your service. It's rare that we actually get a veteran to talk about their experiences in the entertainment industry. Obviously a lot of people are like, oh, my cousin, my brother, my mom, my dad. It's rare that we get ourselves a bona fide a wearer of the uniform. So we thank you for your service. And
someone this old. Is that what you're saying?
Literally. I mean, you don't get to the rank of colonel that, easily like that.
True.
It's not like they just hand it out or anything. I just, by the way, now I have this fanfic in my head where it turns out the colonel has a beautiful singing voice and was in was in the military orchestra early in his career. Now that is canon inside my head. So
There you go.
Kojima, get on that. We're gonna that's a whole separate game. Okay. My God, this is going so well already. Where's your pop culture love at, right? Like outside of what you do for a living, where's your fandom? Where does the thing you obsess about?
Oh man. Um, I'm I love all kinds of music, uh, and always have. I was a music major in school. I didn't become an actor till later. I never took acting classes through school. It was all music. My dream was to play with the Cleveland Orchestra. I was a string bass player, and then ended up playing R&B and rock and roll and whatnot. I started playing some jazz, but was started playing with guys who were way too good for me, and my ears just weren't big enough to play some intricate jazz. I could hear changes, R&B, and rock and roll, and country. All that's easy, uh, but that's basically when I said, you know what, I'd have to really go back and woodshed. So it was time for me to try something else. So I went to acting because acting was also a nice way to meet girls. Uh, I gotta be honest, man. Um, but music uh, it is really what it's all about. And what's really interesting is I'm in rehearsal for a play right now, and the character that I'm playing talks about his love of music. Now, I didn't know this part of the character until I got into going over the lines.
Mm.
But there's a point where he lists all the different genres of music that he loves. And it's like home for me. It's one of those things where I could learn those lines because it was who I was.
Mm.
Yeah, so music's got to be that, and outside of that, uh, the arts, it would have to be football, but soccer,
Ah,
the world's
football.
football. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a
Okay.
major football fan.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Right on. Who would have known the Colonel liked the
I
football?
yeah, I coached for 14 years, and it's like I love the game, man. It's a
That's
beautiful
awesome.
game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So touching on a little bit, I might bounce around a little bit just because I kind of like to follow the flow. You talked about, making the jump from music to acting, which by the way, I 100% agree. I took high school musical theater because that's where all the pretty girls were. So I understand. Man after my heart, I did the same. So I had a little musical in my background too. Do you remember your first the big role, the whether it was a voice acting role, on screen role, or anything like that? What was the first thing that the big acting gig that you landed, and tell us a little bit about that.
Um,
Uh-oh. I think we lost him. Give it a second, folks. Could be the connection. Come back. Come back. This happened once before while we were in the here we go.
hey,
Okay. Sorry, we lost you for a second. Take
there you
two.
go. Can you hear me now?
Yep, we got you. We got you.
Okay. So for me, it was on stage. I was living in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and I got cast in a musical called Fiddler on the Roof,
Classic.
and I played the lead. In Fiddler, I did for 10 months, 8 shows a week.
Oh, the connection's no good. The connection's no good. Sorry, folks. We're doing the best we can. It's a bad connection. I forget where he said he was located. Come on.
Am I breaking everything?
Yeah, I think it's just a really bad connection, but that's okay. We roll with it. We do our best. So Fiddler on the
Yeah.
Roof, you were the lead.
Fiddler on the Roof, I did for 10 months, 8 shows a week. They had to force me to take a week off so my understudy could go on, because it's one of those roles for a character man. Uh, it can't be repeated. You get to sing, you get to dance, you get to make people laugh, make people cry. So it was like it used every part of who I was as an actor. So I love that. Um, Now, as far as being in LA and that kind of stuff, voiceover wise, it was probably I did a play out here in Los Angeles. Again, I played. It was on stage. I played a play called Cloud Nine, where I played a Cockney soldier, an African manservant, intentionally a white man playing a black, no makeup or anything, but just the African garb, and a 5-year-old girl, a hideously unattractive child. Um, but there was a man who was there watching the show who was the casting director and director at Hanna-Barbera. He came, saw the show, and thought I had some range. He called me in for some auditions. And then I started booking, oh gosh, I'm a Smurf, and got me on the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, all of the old Hanna-Barbera shows, the GoBots, Sky Commanders, Johnny Quest. So that was a big break as far as Los Angeles is concerned. His name is Gordon Hunt, who is Helen Hunt's father. Helen Hunt, the Academy Award winner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was a great man. So that was one of the big breakout in LA.
Yeah.
And then my name got around, and then came the Transformers and all the rest of it.
Wow. That's, I mean, it goes to show you, you be the best you can be, and sometimes luck breaks your way, and it's equal parts, right? Skill, luck, and opportunity, and all those things happening all at once, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luck is definitely involved, but once you get that chance, you got to be able to deliver the goods.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Luck will only take you so far. You've got to be able to take it all the way. I'm curious then, when for you was kind of the moment where you're like, oh, okay, I can make a living doing this. Like I can, not just survive, but maybe even thrive in this kind of atmosphere.
Well, I'm hoping that comes tomorrow. I don't know, man. It's very funny. I did a con this last weekend in Portland Retro Gaming Expo. A great con. Anybody gets a chance, they should go there. It's just they really ran a great con, and people were asking that question, and every once in a while, I have to, and I'm not kidding.
Mhm.
There comes a time when I stop and people are looking about all the things I've done, and it hits me from time to time. It's like, gee, shit, I've had a career. As an actor, you're almost always semi-retired because you never know when your next gig is coming. So you're never really sure. Now I put 2 daughters through college. And my wife of 49 years, who I met on stage, so it worked for me.
There you go.
When I was out here for a while in the 90s, it was really the halcyon days for voiceover people, especially Saturday morning cartoons. When I was working all the time, you do a couple of jobs, a couple of different shows each week. That's when you realize, okay, and maybe I've got something I can share. Although I got to say this, I would have auditions for like local commercials or small gigs, and I go into a room, and sitting in the room auditioning for the same thing as me. This is when I first came out here. There would be Ed Asner and Paul Winchell, who was the voice of Tigger. Paul Winchell, who created the first human heart. People don't realize it, but he was also a puppeteer. But these guys were people that I had listened to from when I was little. Dawes Butler uh, auditioning for the same thing I was auditioning for. So just when you think, yeah, I've got it now, and then you look around and you see these guys, these veterans, are auditioning for the same crap I'm auditioning for.
Wow.
So you're never sure,
Mm.
you know.
Do you think that too helps? I don't want to say keeps you humble, but does it?
Oh God, yeah.
It keeps you in that mindset of like, okay, this is great. The next one, like I got to keep the craft going. I got to keep all of that moving forward.
Yep. I'm still in acting class. I take class every Saturday, especially when I'm in town. Um, Number one, you got to keep the instrument sharp.
Mm.
I don't take anything for granted. Um, Plus, when you're in an acting class, our class is really great because we've got ages like 20, 22, a few in the 30s, some in the 40s, some in the 50s, and beyond. Uh, and Helen Hunt is now is running the class.
Oh wow.
And all that energy keeps you going, and that new blood, it just keeps you moving and keeps you growing. I've always said that one of the things I love about acting is that it's something that I can learn until I die. You never really have it all together. Um, like this, I'm working on a play right now. It's kicking my butt, and it's really exciting. Um, it's terrifying because it's a two-character play, and it's the two of us are on stage for an hour and 35 minutes with no intermission. We never leave the stage. So there's a lot of lines to remember and a lot of interaction that has to be honest. Um, so
That's
luckily, I love what I do.
yeah, that's incredible. I mean, that sounds like a lot to do. But again, when you love the craft and when you love what you do, that makes sense. Um, Switching gears a little bit, obviously one of your great roles, Colonel Roy Campbell. I mean, something that you hear that voice and it is instantly recognizable. It is probably one of the most iconic uh, characters, in my opinion, in gaming history that's kind of not playable. Right? He's just the voice. He's part narrator, part exposition, part all these things. What was your initial reaction when you first got the role, when you first started diving into the character and learning the stuff? What was kind of your first initial reaction with Roy Campbell?
Well, number one, I got a gig. Uh, so that was happy time. Um, Number two, having been in the military and having been a sergeant who was in charge, certainly not a colonel, but was in charge of a group of 35, 34 men. Um, I, the sight of him, they gave him some authority and some gravitas I could get to. And then dealing with the friendship with Snake and working side by side with David made it easier to get into it. Developing the story, learning the lore of what was going on, all that came a little bit after. But Chris Zimmerman Salter, who directed every incarnation of Metal Gear, was so good at helping us get to where they thought we should be, both vocally and character wise. It's what was interesting is that, and what was wonderful about the piece is that instead of just giving directions of turn the left toggle this way, or you know all that kind of
Yeah, grab the
stuff.
gun. Yeah,
Exactly. There was freaking story involved, and backstory. that honestly we didn't know a lot of it at the beginning. You slowly get into that stuff. Um, I'm trying to remember the exact first stuff. Oh, the other thing was that really hit me was how big the script was.
Mm.
There was a lot of stuff that we were going to do, so that was daunting. Um, some of the phraseology, some of the words, just technically getting through that kind of stuff was one thing, but the idea that the chance that we had of sitting in the room together and playing off of each other, which doesn't happen anymore with games or
Hmm.
a lot of animation either. You're just in the room by yourself. That made everything easy because it felt more like a radio play than it was anything else. And there was nothing like this. I'd never done anything like this. I'd worked on Diablo and Diablo 1, been the narrator and all that kind of stuff, and Diablo 2 and StarCraft, but nothing like Metal Gear. I mean, it just hadn't happened.
Mm.
So it was all new and exciting and terrifying. You know that we knew it was something special. And I also knew that I didn't want to screw it up. You know what I mean? I didn't want to. I've worked on too many games before that where you'd have one or two actors, voice actors, and the other folks would be people who worked on the game,
Right.
or and they just didn't have the chops. And I wanted to be convincing as the Colonel
It's
and relatable as the Colonel.
it is so incredible. I remember playing Metal Gear Solid, the original, and up to that point, I mean, I've always been a gamer. I've loved games. I've played more games than I could possibly count. Up to that point, like you said, a lot of dialogue was just to get you from point A to B. Hey, grab that gun, do this thing, hit the objective, and narratively it was a lot of like bad guy kill, like
Right.
you're good, he bad, go kill.
Yeah.
Um, and this was something. There was nothing like it. There was nothing like it. It was a story. It was you're invested into these characters and this mystery and this intrigue and these relationships. I just I still to this day is like there's everything before Metal Gear and then there's kind of gaming after it, right? Because so many people try to capture that uh dialogue heavy, cutscene heavy, you know, and this is all before like YouTube and things. I can't imagine if it was
Right.
like when YouTube was around and there'd be so many super cuts and reveals and spoilers and these things, but being a part of something that is as iconic as this because from a gaming standpoint, Metal Gear stand is like on the Mount Rushmore of gaming icons, of franchises, of history. I mean, what is your feeling, when you think about how you're connected, you're intrinsically, other than maybe Snake or Otacon, who are kind of, the pivotal roles, like the Colonel is as pivotal as anyone in throughout the entire series. So what's your feeling being a part of all that?
Um, I, Two things hit me. Number one, it's humbling. I mean, truly, and how lucky I am that I got to be involved in it. Um, I take nothing for granted. One of the reasons I love going to the conventions is that you hear the stories about folks playing the game
Mhm.
and how what it meant to them. And I this past weekend, it happens every show. They'll either be somebody who tells me, says, "Yeah, I started playing when I was 9 years old." And my first question is, "Where were
Why?
your parents?"
Why?
And the next thing they tell me is that, "Well, I was playing with my dad,
Oh,
or I was playing with my mom." And because the dad started playing it, so they started playing it, and it was their bond.
mm,
You it was a family deal. Mom and dad, I mean, mom and son, or dad and son. Um, and over and over, I've heard people say that, that something about the game so important to them because they're either their dad had passed or whatever, um, and they go back and play the game and they relive.
Mm.
I had one person say that my voice reminded me of their father who had died before he started playing the game.
Oh wow.
And it was like, okay. So I was like his dad talking to Snake, you know.
Wow.
So those are those kinds of things just mean a lot because, and I say it every con that we voice actors, um, we're nothing without the listener, the
Mm.
player, without uh, one of the reasons I love, I'm jumping, one of the reasons I love theater is because when you're on stage, the audience is there. It's a shared experience.
Mm. It's a live
Um,
reaction. Yeah.
that moment will never happen twice because of whatever's in the air, blah, 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 or whatever. But you get that reaction. When someone is playing the game and they're hearing your voice, even though your voice never changes, that that moment will never be repeated either,
Mm.
because they're going to be in a different space. There, the air will be different. Whatever. If they even play it 5, 6 times,
Right.
and when I hear these stories of what it meant to folks, um, it makes the whole idea of being an actor. It's like it's joyful. I mean, that's why I became an actor.
Yeah.
For people to experience something, to feel something special. And so I'm so grateful that I got a chance to be in the games, even two, which just completely flipped everything after one.
It was very very different. Startlingly different. Um, which let me just touch on two real quick. I am still scarred today from that end where everything went topsy turvy and the colonel started going crazy and talking crazy. I'm still like, there's a part of me that is still scarred from that. So thank you for that. I carry that with me.
Oh,
Um, that must have been a lot of fun reading just the craziest lines you've probably ever recorded for a game, I
or
would
even
imagine.
like, I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw's space with a tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carry Rock. I need scissors 61. You
That
mean
is
that?
terrifying. That is terrifying. Turn off the game, Snake. Turn it off. It was oh my god, that terrified me.
Yeah.
It's such a startling thing. So yeah, I'll
Great.
send you the trauma bills for that, the therapy bills. Um, the Let's touch real quick on the dynamic between Campbell and Snake. I mean, there's that it's part mentorship, part friendship, sometimes a little adversarial. How did you guys build that and layer it through the years?
Well, because that's basically our relationship in real life. Sometimes we like each other, sometimes we can't stand it. Sometimes, I don't trust him. Um, David Hayter. No, no, it's basically the director. It's all in the words. Kojima uh, was a master, and working with David. I mean, the dude. Number one, no one knows that game better than David Hayter. Uh, it, I don't think anyone, well, except maybe Kojima-san. But David he's a master. He knows it all. He's fun to play with, and I love that dude. We were together over the weekend and just had a great time. So basically, the way you build it is just two actors trusting each other, trusting that, if I get a little bit testy, he can come back at me. But again, for me, it's in the words.
Yeah,
The words come first. Anybody can do those words, and if they're good words, they're easier for the actor.
right. I you
They're
know
also easier to memorize. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. Like that is something I was going to mention earlier, and we got into something else. But with Metal Gear, and speaking of the words, and it's I don't know how to explain it. It's this natural kind of conversational. Uh, it's something that games never really did, and I was trying to figure out how much of that was in the street because it comes out like in other games it's very robotic. They'll be like, "Oh no, it's a monster! Run to the door!" And you guys brought so much life, and obviously with David and playing Snake, it always had to be really like low and serious and kind of.
Right.
But I felt like a lot of the other characters got to really play it up. The Merrills and the Colonel, and like really got to Snake. Oh my god! Like oh my god! Like and really got to put so much. Was that like something that was intentional? Like it was directed? Like hey, pour your heart into this, or did it come out kind of naturally? I'm curious because it hadn't been done in gaming at that point. So how does it come to be?
I think our director again, Chris, who everybody is will tell you that she's a master at this, and she's one of those that she wanted it natural. She wanted it honest. She didn't want any eh, what they did not want to have happen is have any of it sound cartoony,
Mm.
which other games that I've worked on does. It's got to be elevated, okay? Because you're not necessarily seeing us, so it's got to be elevated language, but it can't be um, cartoonish. It can't be too big. If it's too big, then it loses any sense of honesty, and that's one thing that she pushed us toward. It's got to be real. Yeah, you can be more excited. You can be bring it up some, but it's got to be honest and real. And they kept talking about it being more like a radio play than any kind of animated anything.
Mm. Yeah,
That's what I remember.
it was is all like delivered. Like every line was delivered. Like this was his last words on earth. Like every line just had so much power and raw emotion into it. Um, Jumping back to the con side of things, I'm just there are so many quotable lines. What do people ask you to say? Like, what do people like? Oh, I need you, Snake. Like, what? Wait,
Yep.
I can't imagine what people ask you to say or do at a convention.
At least once every convention, sometimes twice, I will do the game over. Um, yeah, where I tell
You
say, can
scared
you
the hell
hear
out of
me?
me. By the way, you did it at MGS Con, and I was like 2 tables away, and I wasn't ready for it. And I just hear, Snake! And I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, because you, like, the whole room vibrated. Everyone stopped what they were doing and, like, looked over at you. And you were just
Well,
beaming with pride. I loved it. I loved
well,
it.
if you're gonna do it, you got to do it, man. You got to go full out. I, I I don't know if I told you or not, but my daughter for a while was going to the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. Okay, and we went to visit. My wife and I went to visit because she was doing a play, and she needed something for her computer. So I went to the Apple store in Minneapolis. I walk in the Apple store, and they're all glass and metal. I walk in them. It's a Saturday morning, about 11 o'clock. People all over the place. And I walk in, and I tell the young man at the beginning, "Look, I'm here to find. I figure out what it was, something." And he said, "Wow, wow, man, wow." I said, "What?" He said, "You sound. Your voice sounds like this a character in a video game I play." And I knew what he was talking about. This is
Of
like,
course.
let's see, about 12 years ago. Um, and I said, "Oh, what game?" It was morning, so my voice is down here. And I said, "What game?" He said, um, "It's Metal Gear Solid." And I said, "It's me." And he said, no way. I said, yeah, I'm Colonel Campbell. And of course, he was very sweet and he was very excited and it was lovely. But then he said, hey, can you do game over? Can you do the snake? And I said, dude, there are people here. And you know I'm going to get really loud. He said, yeah, I know. I said, you're going to get fired. He said, no, my manager's a gamer. So I did it. I said, Snake. I'm not going to scream it, but Snake.
Please. No,
Can
don't.
you hear me? Snake. And then at the top of my lungs, I screamed snake and it held it out. And the whole place, it just reverberated all the place. And there was dead silence for about beat. And then there was applause. And it was so cool. And he turned around and said, Campbell.
That's
And there was
amazing.
a gentleman who came up to me who wasn't a gamer. He was just there for something else. And he came up as he was leaving. He said, that was very good. He said, I thought there was a snake.
It's a snake. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so I have to do that. I also do age hasn't slowed you down. One bit, has it? The other one
Nice.
is snake. You'll create a time paradox. But the
Yes.
biggest one is I need scissors 61. I think that's the most
wild.
popular.
That's wild. Of all the things, I'm surprised that that would be the one. But again, I mean, it's some of the most iconic lines. You know, like when I think back at the series of all the games, everybody knows like the oh you're pretty good, kind of stuff, and
Right.
the classic lines. But for me, and I'm not saying that just because you're here, but like it's the Campbell lines tend to have, I don't know, they stick with you, and by the way, the only way that story gets any better is you go, yes, I am in the Metal Gear Solid. I do play Meryl. You got it. You nailed it. How did you know? No one ever guesses. That's the answer. That's how you do that. Speaking of voices and speaking of different roles, you have credits across some of the biggest franchises, Ben 10, StarCraft, Skyrim, Transformers. We talked about it. With a register like yours, right? I feel like that could be limiting in some ways of like what you get cast as. But so how do you adapt the voice and the performance across all these different, iterations and worlds and dimensions and things?
Well, it depends on what sometimes they you look at a picture, you know, they show you a picture of what your character is supposed to be, or they'll give you a description, and you decide does this character, I mean, just change things in your mouth, in your face, bring it from the top of your head versus down here, um, and does he have an overbite, an underbite? Is there a bilateral S? You know, you just don't exactly what you decide where the character is, and real quickly,
Please.
it kind of has to do with this. Over the weekend, I was told that there's a moment in one of the games where very quickly you hear about Colonel Campbell's brother, Matt, which is Meryl's, she thought was her dad, Matt. Well, apparently there was a fella in Detroit who decided to draw a picture of what Matt looked like. So basically what it was, he did a rendition of Campbell's face, but put Meryl's head on him. And I was asked over the weekend, what would Matt Campbell sound like? And so instead of Roy, so Roy's down here. So I decided that Matt, I said, is he younger or older? He said, well, he's younger, 7 years younger. I said, okay. And then I looked at the picture of the guy, and I decided his voice was up here. my brother Roy, he's he's a good guy, but he hangs out with this guy named Snake. Who hangs out with a guy named Snake? I would never hang out with a guy. I bowled with a guy named Snake once, but it was that kind of thing. So you just decide the placement and decide what kind of character. Like Perceptor, much more upper register.
Mm.
Um, Perceptor, who's the most intelligent of the Autobots. And he says things like, cursory evaluation of Decepticon capability indicates a distinct tactical deficiency.
That's incredible.
And in, what do you call it, in Fallout, the Vault-Tec salesman, he's just a 1950s door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman type. And that's what they told me. So he's up and happy. So it's like, good morning, Vault-Tec calling. No, I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's all about you. It's that kind of thing. So you make up. You look a picture. Sometimes they just want the placement. And sometimes you play ultimate evil. Who knows?
That's amazing. You obviously have this wealth of knowledge, and like you said, you stay on your craft. If we're going to clip this later and put it out there, if you could reach out to the young actors and people that wanted to break into the voice work industry, what's the tips? What's the guidance? What's the advice for people today?
Honestly, what I tell everybody if they want to get into voice acting is take an acting class. Take an acting class, maybe some improv class. We don't get a chance to improv and voiceover much anymore, but an acting class really helps because almost anybody can do a funny voice. But being able to create a life coming out of that voice is something different. And if you're going to sustain a character, you got to have some depth to him. It just can't be just that funny voice, because people get tired of that funny voice and they want to have, it's got to have some life to it, some dare I say, soul. Something has to be generating from inside, some engine happening, something's going on with him. So I always say, take an acting class, because it won't hurt. It will always help.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. And we're winding down. I've had you for the time flies by. I realize what time it is.
I've worn you out.
No, we could do this all night. I can go all. This is incredible. I love this stuff. You've done comedic roles. You've done serious drama roles. Is there one, in your opinion, that you find more challenging than the other, and maybe why?
Oh, wow. Comedy's tough because it's all about timing. But that has a lot to do with who you're working with and how funny the script is. The serious roles I find tough because I did a Grey's Anatomy where I was a guy who was there with my lover who was dying. My lover who was dying happened to be the wife of my best friend. And my best friend knew that we were lovers, and he was okay with it. But she's on her deathbed and she's interviewing women to be my lover after she's gone. And I'm watching her there, and then there's a point where I just break down. I just lose it. And it's easy to do that once, but then they have to change the camera angle. Okay, can we do it again? And then they'll change the angle again. So you end up doing it 3, 4, maybe 5 times because of different angles. Luckily, Debbie Allen, who was directing it, was nice enough and is an actress enough to know that instead of picking up like just a little bit of it, she let me do the whole scene over and over and over again. And it's tough because it takes something out of you. because of course I was seeing my wife, my real wife, on that table, on that bed, dying. So it was like, okay, I can get to the emotion of it, but that's tough. Comedy's tough because of the timing, but drama. Bad guys are always fun to do.
That's we've heard that
Yeah,
repeatedly. It's always the bad guys are the most fun.
always fun. Yeah,
You get to live out, I think, a little bit of the fantasy of like we've got to play by rules, we've got to live in a positive, and the bad guy too, like fuck it all, let it all burn, and you just get to vicariously live through that. Um,
yeah.
as we wind down, I want to ask you this: is there a role um, outside of what you've done with Metal Gear that you maybe wish got a little more recognition for you, or you wish people asked you about, or like what's that role that you were like really invested in, and you want more people to give you some love on it?
Okay, there are two. One, simply because not enough people have seen it. It's a short film I did called Frank and Emmett, Emmet. It's available on YouTube, on the Amoleta. Doesn't matter. You just type in Frank and Emmett, and it's a guy telling his partner of 40 years that the act is done, and it turns out his partner happens to be a Muppet. Um, and it's sweet, but there's a lot more to it than what you think. We were Oscar qualified, but of course we didn't make it all the way. It's only 12 minutes long, and we shot it during the height of the pandemic, with my pandemic beard out to here, and that I'm really proud of, and I really hope people see.
Okay.
The other one is a voiceover thing from a show called The Toxic Crusaders. I wish we had gone on longer, but it only went for, I think, just one season. It's a trauma thing, and based on the Toxic Avenger.
Yep.
And I played a character called No Zone. No Zone was like a Chuck Yeager type test pilot who flew through a hole in the ozone and crashed into a vat of radioactive pepper. And he came out with one leg fused to his a wheel of his airplane, and his nose super huge. And his power was sneezing. And he could sneeze down a forest if he had to, knock down all the troops. And in the show, at least twice in every episode, somebody had to say, we are, I'll say it as No Zone. We are superhuman. No, we are hideously deformed creatures of superhuman size and strength. So, yeah, there goes Colonel Campbell.
I love that's awesome.
Degrading.
I actually remember the Toxic Crusaders. I remember that. I haven't thought of that in
It's so
decades,
silly.
but what a great premise. This has been just a phenomenal conversation. I have loved every moment of chatting with you. I could literally ask you a million more questions, but I do try to be respectful of my guest time. You've already given so much. Um, are you a big social media guy? Like, can people follow you? Can people interact with you? Yeah, I want to give you that moment to shine.
Absolutely. I'm on Instagram and on Threads and Blue Sky and Facebook, of course. And I stay in touch with folks. I have friends on Facebook that we met at my first con in 2010, and we are now dear friends. When they're in town, we get together, we hang out. I have friends from Australia and New Zealand. When they come into town, we get together. Because what I said earlier, I truly mean. It's like this is a group effort. I could be the greatest voiceover actor in the world and nobody hear me or nobody care. Okay, big deal. But when people like our work, that makes it special. And right now, anybody who's in the Los Angeles area should buy tickets and come and see the play. We open in November 20th.
Absolutely. And where can people follow you on social media? I know you said Instagram. What's
It's
the?
just my name, Paul Eiding, on I think it's for Paul Eiding on Instagram. And just look for my name. I don't hide.
You can't miss him. He's the one screaming snake
Snake!
at the top of his lungs. Last question before we let you go, just because I feel like you're the right person to ask this. I love doing conventions. I just got back from New York Comic Con. I was at San Diego. We do MGS. We do all these different cons. From your side of the house, right? Because I know as a goer to cons, as a guy who covers press for cons, what I consider, like a good con experience or a bad con experience. We're not going to name names because I don't want to get in big trouble, but to you, what are some of the like examples of a good con, like what happens at a good con versus like the experience level, right? Like what separates the good from the bad?
Okay, for me, I like a mid-size. How do I put this now nicely? I can just talk about, there are expos that I go to in Australia or New Zealand that get so big that you end up having a line there and you have a handler pushing you, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And I'm not good at that. I feel that if somebody's coming to meet me and get a picture, have me sign something, I want to interact. I want this to be an experience. I don't want to, here, oh, okay, there you go, goodbye, nice talking to you. So I like them when we have a little more time. I often like Sundays because Sundays are generally slower than Fridays or Saturdays because people can come and hang out.
Yeah.
I never mind that. At every con that I go to now, there's somebody that we've met years before who just come out to shoot the breeze and talk about their life, my life, what's been going on. So I like those when we can actually interact with one another.
Yeah.
Not speed through anything.
Yeah. I think, and as a person that goes to it, like I think there's an understanding of like, hey, it is a business. It is, and especially like at a New York Comic Con when there's 10,000 people waiting in line and you want everybody to get their turn and all this, but I completely understand. I can say as someone who has stood there and witnessed and watched you and David and Tasia and who else? Chris Randolph and Cam Clark and Phil Lamar at these MGS cons. You guys have such a relationship with the fans, and you give, like, I can't imagine how exhausted you must be at the end of this, having to, the same way you treat the role of pouring your entire being in. I just stand there and watch, and I'm exhausted for you. So how do you survive that?
I appreciate that. No, because especially on Sunday night after 3 days, what made it worse is I just come back. We were in Ireland for 2 weeks. I got back to Los Angeles on Wednesday night. On Thursday morning at 4 in the morning, I was up to fly to Portland. By Sunday night, my voice was down here. I was really, and it takes a lot out of you because I don't want to be a robot. Thank you for noticing that because that's what it's all about. You got to invest. You got to be there.
Absolutely.
People have come and waited and waited and waited. I'm not going to blow anybody off. It's like, no, let's have some fun. Let's. I mean, that's what our life is about. Come on.
Yeah.
That personal interaction is what makes us human.
It's true. And it's honestly one of the reasons why, especially on this show, I love talking to voice actors the most. We've had actors, we've had directors, we had writers. There's something I think special about voice actors and I think the connection they have with the fans versus like maybe with like the media, the celebrity of it all, right? There's a little more humility. There's a little more like you can walk around and not get hounded, people, chasing you down. But every time I have been to a convention. Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime. Like, I was at a convention and they were like, "Sir, it's close. They're turning the lights off." And he's like,
Right.
"I still have people in line.
Right.
I'm not leaving until I see the last person in line." And it's like,
Absolutely.
it blows my mind how much you guys do that. I was at New York, and it was David Hayter, Cam Clark, Tasia, somebody, and then Christopher Randolph. And they were in the line, and I was just hanging out with Chris. Which, by the way, side note, he was supposed to be on my show last week, and forgot. So I had to give him a little, a little encouragement while I was at New York. I was like, man, come on now, come on. So we're gonna get him back on later. But next time you see him, tell him I showed
I'll
up.
do it.
I showed
I'll
up
do
and
it.
I was
Whatever.
early. But no, I got to watch them, and like, just it's different. I don't want to knock anybody, but again, as someone who covers this stuff and sees it from a different lens than either the creator side or the fan side, like, I've seen the Hollywood people who, oh, thank you, okay, yep, yeah, smile,
Yeah.
and then move it, and then I've seen the guys who jump from behind the booth and interact and almost like slip into character and hear the stories and go, oh, I remember you, and that's, oh my God, and it's wild to witness. And I tell people, like, if you don't go to, like, you have to go to a convention and meet these people, because it's an experience, and it's something that you will hold on to. And again, I can't thank you enough for you've always been kind to me and everyone you meet. I hope we're friends now. I hope that we are
Yeah.
colleagues. And like I said, I could talk to you for hours more. So we have to have you back on. Oh, look at the hat. The hat I gave him. Oh my God, that means the world to me. Now,
All weekend, whenever I go to anywhere now, I've got my pin as well.
oh my
I want
God,
people to know. I want people to throw some money
beautiful.
at it.
No, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's a great
We're in this
organization.
together, brother.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that I think most voiceover folks and truly me, this whole thing called life,
Hmm.
we're all in this together, and I owe it to the fans of my work. I have, I'll never be able to say I have my fans. They're fans of my work.
Yeah.
I don't think my ego is big enough to say, yeah, they're fans of mine.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they're fans of
Who
my
doesn't
work.
know Paul Eiding, or Eating? Some jerks call him. I don't know. Yeah, some jerks call him Eating. I don't know. Those people don't know anything. But yeah. Oh no, did we listen? Oh, there we go. We break it up a little bit. I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I hope he's not frozen and he's hearing this. Are you good? Are we good?
I'm good.
Okay. Little glitchy on my side, but that's okay. That's okay. Paul, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, for doing this. Like, it's weird. I can see you, but I don't think the audio. There we go. You still hear me? That's so
Hello?
weird. There we go. Okay, it's weird. It was cutting in and out. Okay, we're good. Again, thank you so much for being here and doing this. It has been an incredible honor. I hope I can bring you back and we can further discuss, because, again, you've had such an incredible career and done so much. 1 hour wasn't nearly enough time to really dive into it all. I'm gonna go find that clip. What was it? Frank and Emmett? Was the one you talked about?
Frank and Emmett.
Frank
12
and Emmett.
minutes out of your life.
It's well deserved, and we're gonna share it out there. We're gonna put the link out there so that people can find it and watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, follow him, engage him. He's a great guy. I'll give you the last few seconds to say your goodbyes to the audience, and then we'll let you go.
No, I appreciate it, man. It's been a heck of a lot of fun, and I'm much better than Chris ever would be.
Hey, your mouth to God's ears. Let me tell you. I mean,
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
absolutely. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you, because you're an absolute hoot. And again, thank you for your service and for what you do
And you.
for the voice acting community, for the con community. You're an incredible human being, and I look forward to our paths crossing once again, as we always seem to do at these things. But we'll be seeing you soon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Paul Eiding. I'm gonna go say goodbye to my guests behind the scenes. We're gonna toss it to a short break. We'll have more show right after this. Hey, Colonel, you wanna send us away?
Say what?
I said, do you want to say goodbye as the Colonel?
Yeah. You ready?
Let's do this.
Thanks for listening. Now, your next mission is this. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Make sure you got each other's backs. You got my 6. I got yours. This is Campbell, out.
Perfect. Nailed it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more right after this.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ at the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends in those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns, villains playing heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read, CQ's wisdom's what we need. Memories that make us bleed, together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ.
Hey, everybody. We're back. We're back. I'm just grinning ear to ear like an idiot because that was such a fun conversation with Paul Eiding. It's funny, dude. We're just cracking me up behind the scenes. Oh God, if you guys could hear the conversations I have when I'm in the green room with the guests, it's funny. And I'll tell you, as he was hanging up, it's so adorable. I love it. Um, we were, saying our goodbyes and whatnot, and he's like, "Okay, thanks for having me," and this and that, and like he went to hang up, and sometimes I guess you say things out loud. You know, we said our goodbyes, and I'm like, "All right, see you, have a good one," and he goes, "Okay, goodbye." He's like looking to log out or to close the browser or whatever, and he's like, "That was really fun." And it was to himself. He wasn't saying it to me. He was saying it to himself, but it made like I'm blushing. It made me smile, and it just made my heart so warm to know that he had a good time and he enjoyed himself. And I love, oh man, it means the world to me. Like a lot of the people that come on this show are people that, for the majority, because sometimes you take what you get, but a lot of the people that I've been fortunate to talk to are people that I've grown up with, or that I've loved their work, or that I respected them for different reasons. And Roy Campbell as the Colonel in the Metal Gear Solid is like such a that voice is it's here, it's always there. So it's fun to get to sit and talk with him and talk about his career and whatnot. And man, I love it. God, I love it so much. It's my favorite part. My favorite part of the job. Favorite part of the job is getting to sit and listen to these guys tell their stories. But anyway, with that, man, we covered a lot today. Your Comic-Con and the WoW Cube and the Xbox Rogue Ally and the Alex Ross giveaway and this big box of giveaway stuff that I have to give away. So if you can hear the sound of my voice, keep watching, because we're going to be giving away a lot of stuff from probably Halloween all the way through to Christmas. I've got to clear out just so much stuff. So, hey, Charles, awesome interview. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's my joy. So yeah, so keep watching, stay tuned. Lots of giveaways. We've got FTX this week. Oh, you know what? I can share the new updated logo. So here's the latest and greatest of what's available here at WTF Nation Radio. Starting with Monday nights, it's the King and Me and the Monday edition, or the King and Me followed by the Monday edition. Tuesdays right here, Pop Culture Warrior. That's me. Wednesdays is the Sports Bar followed by the Smoke Pit. Thursdays is Sergeant's Time. Fridays, every other Friday, which is this Friday, FTX, Friday Night Tabletop Exercise. And rounding out the week is Saturday's Weekend Co-ops, which is just a lot of fun. So that is the slate of shows as of today. We are very excited because we are working feverishly behind the scenes to bring together 1, 2, 3, 4 new shows, 4 wildly new, different, unique shows that I'm very, very excited about. The first one I can talk about, yes, Weekend Co-ops. What's up, man? The first one I can talk about that's probably the next one coming out. Let's see, October. Yeah. So the next one that will be out officially is Trailhead Ops, which is going to be our kind of outdoorsy, I think the term is overlanding, driving. It's the Lord of Trees out there. Yes, the Lord of Trees is bringing Trailhead Ops to life and the outdoors. And for those that like, you like that camping lifestyle, that outdoorsy lifestyle. This is going to be all that in a bag of chips. There's going to be tips and tricks and videos and top best places to go and what to pack and what not to pack and gear reviews and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be awesome. Hey, what up, JM Low Prickon? How you doing, man? I can't believe you're tuning into this. You crazy. So yeah, you definitely would love our new show, Trailhead Ops, which is coming very soon to WTF Nation Radio, including other shows as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you guys tonight. Lots more good stuff coming. I did run into Christopher Randolph, who stood us up last week, but that's okay. We forgive him. We love him. It was a mistake. It happens. And he has rescheduled. I think it's like November 11 or 18 or something like that he's going to come on. So we will have him on. We have a lot of good guests coming up. A lot of really cool stuff for FTX, a lot of really cool stuff for here at Pop Culture Warrior. Some really cool, interesting stuff coming up for the Monday edition as well as Sergeant's Time. Weekend Co-ops has some really good stuff coming. So yeah, things are coming together. Very exciting. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. Big shout out to my guest, Paul Eiding, the incredible voice of Colonel Roy Campbell. And I got to put together like a Metal Gear series because I've had David, we'll have Christopher, we've had Paul, we've had Phil, we've had Tasia, we've had Debbie, we've had Vanessa. I got like who else are we missing from? There's like the entire cast of Metal Gear. Yeah, I mean we've had so many of the voice. Oh, we had God, was it Josh Keaton? Did Young Ocelot? Yeah, we're collecting the Metal Gear talent like Infinity Stones. Exactly. At this point, we're gonna have like a bingo card, like bingo. I got all of them. I definitely want to get Cam Clark. He's a fun one because not only did he do Liquid Snake, he's very famous for doing like I think it was Donatello in the original Ninja Turtles animated series, as well as just a shit ton of other voices. Yeah, so we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for tuning in. Shows. Watch all the shows. Like the pages. Subscribe. Each show has its own social media, so follow. If there's a show you like, make sure you follow them specifically, as well as WTF Nation Radio, and get all of your awesome content right here. And stay tuned. We got a lot more to show you. A lot more coming down the line. So see you guys next week.